Hi, this is Alan Boucher. I'm the Superintendent of Sherrard School District, and I wanted to introduce myself before we get into some questions that you might have. I'd be happy to answer those, or maybe share some information that you might not already know. We'll have these videos from time to time and post them to our district website and also to social media. And we'll get started now with question number 1. What do we do when we have an outbreak? Well, the Illinois Department of Public Health has come out with the guidelines for that. They determine that we have an outbreak when 2 people in a classroom test positive for COVID. So that could include the staff or the students. Now, when that takes place, we will work closely with either the Mercer County Health Department or the Rock Island County Health Department, depending on which school it is, to make a determination of what we're going to do about it. And one of the choices is we can just have that class go remote and the rest of the school carry on, or we could determine that we need to shut the whole school down. That would probably happen more likely at the high school or junior high, where the kids travel from class to class. We will do all that we can to keep the schools open, but at the same time, we have to have a safe environment, so we will go to remote when necessary. It'll probably be a class or a school. It'll be unlikely that we'd shut the whole school district down, but that is also one of the choice menu of options, for us to do, and that's how we'll handle an outbreak. What's up with remote learning on Friday, September 4th? Well, the staff believes that we need to have a practice day, a day when we actually go through the motions of remote learning where the students are at home, because then we'll be able to see where the problem areas are, what needs to be fixed, what we haven't thought of. We need to make sure we're working out all of our technology problems so that in the event that we have to go remote for the long term, we'll be able to do that and be more successful with it. Now, to even prepare for next Friday, this Friday, we're going to have the students who are at school practice as if they are remote learning. And so the teachers will conduct their classes in a way that they would if they were remote, and the students will be right there in the classes with them. And that way they can communicate with the students if the students are having problems, or they can communicate with the technology staff if something isn't working right with the technology. But either way, they're just going to practice while the students are at school so that they can have more success the following Friday when the students are going to be at home. We don't plan to have those very often. We just want to do it often enough to know that we can pivot to remote learning at any time and have a fair amount of success with it. So if we ever do it again, we'll make sure that we give parents plenty of notice, and we'll only do that when it's absolutely necessary. So what are we doing for families who don't have internet access? Well, there are several options for them. First of all, last spring we put in devices into each building so that it can broadcast an internet signal into the parking lot. So families who don't have access at home can take their technology to the parking lots of one of the schools, and then they can take care of their internet needs there. Also, we have purchased equipment to install at New Windsor and Coyne Center, and we're ready to do that. We just have to get it done here in the coming days. So students and families in New Windsor and in the Coyne Center area will be able to get internet access as well. And then we've also purchased as a district 17 hotspots from Verizon. So for the families who can't afford to have internet access, or they have to have an internet signal as far as through the cell phone tower at their house, but if they do and they can't afford to have a hotspot that they would buy themselves, we do have some available. And if someone is in that situation, they can just contact the school. And we also, of course, if we can't get an internet problem solved at all, the teachers will try to make an accommodation using paper or some other form of communication so that the students still can participate remotely without the technology. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the 3 student service opportunities for our district. First of all, our mental health caseworker. We're in partnership with the Mercer County Health Department to provide a mental health caseworker for all of the families in our district. The position is funded through the CARES Act, which is a federal grant, and will probably only last for 1 year, but we're going to have that advantage for this year for our family. So if you believe that your family has a need in the area of mental health, please contact the school. We'll put you in contact with that mental health caseworker, and then they'll be able to work with you to find solutions for the needs that you have. Also, we have school lunches available to our remote families. Of course, we already do feed our students at school that are learning in person, but we also want to make that available to our students remote. And if you are interested in that, you need to email Marla Miller, and her email address is millerm@sherrard.us. Finally, I want to tell you about our Tiger Closet. That's been in business now for several years at the high school, and it's for all of our district families. And so if you have a need for food or clothing or hygiene products, you just need to contact the school, and then they'll set you up for an appointment. And that information can be found on our district website in the parent and student section of that website. Well, this concludes today's video, the very first one in a series of who knows how many videos that'll take place in the future. We are working very diligently day in and day out in the evenings, all weekends, to try to figure this thing out. You know, we are all novices in this pandemic in our response. We've never been through something like this before. Hopefully we're taking good notes in case we have to go through it again. But we really appreciate your grace, your patience, and we really enjoy getting positive comments from you. That really provides fuel to energize us, and so we thank you for that in advance. And remember, we're Tigers today, transforming tomorrow.